Navy, Air Force, Ground Forces, aircraft carriers, F-35 fighter jets and Apache attack helicopters, plus nearly 200 soldiers, including commandos and other special forces. The United States sent its military elite to Venezuela to crack down on Nicolas Maduro's drug business.
It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many, talk about boots on the ground, we had a lot of boots on the ground. But it was amazing, and think of it, nobody was killed, and on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans, but many killed, and they knew we were coming.
The drug regime that terrorized the people of Venezuela and supplied deadly drugs to the United States was destroyed. The targets were military facilities and the palace of the self-proclaimed president. During the operation, the Americans used the entire spectrum of aircraft. These included L-22 combat aircraft, F-35 aircraft, F-18 aircraft, as well as numerous Special Forces helicopters, including special versions of Black Hawk and Chinook helicopters, which transported Special Forces commandos to Caracas and later evacuated them back to the ship, which is important. A very important element of the entire operation were the naval platforms, primarily the USS Iwo Jima amphibious assault ship and the Ocean Trader Special Forces support ship, which served as bases for the helicopters that transported the commandos back and forth. The US operation in Venezuela was a display of effectiveness and professionalism. The Americans used F-35 aircraft, MQ-9 drones and Apache helicopters, among other things. All these machines have been acquired by the Polish armed forces thanks to the actions of the Law and Justice government. With the help of state-of-the-art equipment, the Americans overthrew the narco-terrorist regime. The dictator, who just a few days ago was threatening the United States and amassing wealth at the expense of his own citizens and Americans, ended his reign in handcuffs, brought to justice in Manhattan, New York. The whole operation was calculated precisely to show the effectiveness of the United States. The Americans have brilliantly figured out the entire security system of President Maduro, and this was supposed to have had the effect that it did. In addition, I think that both the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China are now concluding very nervous analyses of what the Americans have actually done, because both countries have weapons that were supposed to be used by the Venezuelan president for defense, and these weapons were quickly neutralized. The Americans not only broke Venezuela's military defenses, but also struck one of the most powerful criminal organizations in the world. Maduro not only created the cartel of the Suns, but also drew in members of his immediate family, including his wife, who held a managerial position, as well as members of the government, the military, and officials. The criminals running the country used smuggling routes established by the Mexican drug lord El Chapo, but also sought new ways to deliver drugs to the United States, including the use of modern smuggling boats.
Elementy tego kartelu powstawały we współpracy.
Elements of this cartel were formed in cooperation with the Colombian mafia in this initial phase, which is why the Colombian-Venezuelan border was the place where this network of connections and the cartel itself began to form. Business flourished as long as the Democrats ruled the U.S. When Donald Trump returned to the White House, he declared war on illegal migrants, gangs, and drug smugglers. Donald Trump made it clear, if you try to destabilize the United States using these kinds of dictators, or if dictators think they can destabilize it, for example, by sending drugs, or in any other way, because there may be more such attempts to destabilize the United States or the democratic world, the response of the United States will be immediate, ruthless, and effective. This is not the end of American involvement in Venezuela, because even though the drug business has collapsed, the regime has not relinquished power peacefully. Cartel members still rule the country. That is why Donald Trump has announced that fair democratic elections will be held there under American supervision, and that U.S. oil companies will extract oil. This time, the profits will go not to Maduro's cartel. Ordinary people will be the first to receive aid. Until then, the Americans will block tanker traffic in the Caribbean Sea and prevent Maduro's people from profiting.
Moving forward, and that is we have leverage. This leverage we are using and we intend to use. We started using already. You can see where they are running out of storage capacity. In a few weeks, they're going to have to start pumping oil unless they make changes.
Donald Trump announced that the authorities in Caracas have declared that they will transfer 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the United States, and Washington will use the profits from its sale for the benefit of Venezuelans.